why women, and sometimes it's like divorced women, look for a person who is non-hypergamous. And I'm giving you by an example. I have one of my like friends who is a divorcee, and she was talking about it. Probably she's an exception. We know that exceptions does not disproves the rule, but probably she was looking for a person who's younger than her and her, and is not more making money than her. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to ask her a question. She was saying that that would be easier to handle, and it
Hold on, hold on.
surprised me.
Hold on. It will be easier to handle. Does she mean it will
Yes,
be easier to control him?
in that way, but the
Hmm.
word was handle.
Mm.
So I thought, and
How old
why
is
would
she? How
oh,
old is she?
she's 47.
Mm-hmm. Cougar. Okay. And how old was the man that she was looking at?
Or she is looking at the man who's under my age. Like for example, right now I'm 40, and under 40 to 20 is 25. She said. I'm like,
As young
why?
as 25. Well, there's a big difference between 25 and 40. 40 and
Yeah,
47, I mean, it's not really cougary, but 40 and 25, or 47 and 25, that's definitely very cougary. And the simple answer to that is the following, bro. Firstly and foremostly, hypergamy is not as straight laced as we would like to make it out to be. Okay. So there are times, as you can see with cougars, whereby she would prioritize a younger mate or a younger husband, if we're dealing from it from the Islamic context, because, for example, a younger man. Now, when a woman is in her late 40s, okay, she's she's on her last legs of egg production, if there's even anything there at that point, and there is a driving force behind her, which is suggesting to her in the back of her mind, you've only got a few eggs left. We need to fertilize these eggs. Which type of man is going to be able to provide the highest quality sperm to fertilize these bust down, broken up eggs? It's going to be a young man, right? A young man, 25-year-old, will have higher quality sperm than a 45-year-old. I'm not saying a 45-year-old can't impregnate a woman. Of course he can. But it is a fact of life that we get older and our quality of sperm deteriorates. We are literally dying. Once you get
hmm,
past your peak, well, you start dying slowly. Okay. So that's one thing. Another thing is exactly what you just mentioned, which is either she is a very controlling woman and she has been used to dealing with dominant men in the past, and that hasn't stacked up well with her type of personality. So she has made a realization here, and that realization is, okay, if I find myself a young impressionable man, I will have greater sway in his thinking simply by virtue of his youth. A 25-year-old man is not like a 25-year-old woman. A 25-year-old woman is typically more mature up here than a 25-year-old man. Once you get past 30 as a man, that's when you start surpassing women in maturity. But she can control him. And although this will eventually be the cause of their divorce, which is the irony of it all, because a woman doesn't want to be in control, she, well, it doesn't satisfy her in the way that she thinks it will. She might say, I want to control him, but it doesn't really and truly satisfy her in the way that she needs it to be. It goes against the fitrah. It's not normal. It's completely unnatural. But she's thinking, you know what? I need to be able to control this guy. I don't want to have to deal with headaches and a man telling me what to do and so on and so forth. Maybe she was hurt. She had a negative experience with a dominant man, and she's thinking now, you see, this is where it comes down to being defined by your experiences in reverse. Maybe she was married to a very dominant man. That didn't work out. So she's thinking, you know what? Let me try and marry a young man who hopefully will be very submissive. Not always the
that
case, but that's the thinking. So if you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.